Yes, good afternoon. Welcome to Football Heritage TV. A slightly different message today, and this is a message to all Spurs YouTubers. Obviously, this goes out to the wider fan base and for people who aren't YouTubers as well, but mainly I want to address Spurs YouTubers. And here's why. As I've said in the title of this message, let's get together and get Levy and ENIC out. Now, I think what we've seen over the last 10, whatever many years, however long like kind of YouTube's been going from a football perspective, 15 years, whatever it is, I think what we've seen is a lot of he said, she said. I want Levy out. I don't want Levy out. It's not the manager, it's the owners. It's not the owners, it's the players. It's this yada, yada, yada. Now, many of you will know who I am from the Spurs community, from YouTube, from X back in the day, or what was Twitter. And there will be people who don't like me, and I completely understand that. And there'll be people who do like me. But I'm coming to you from a point of view today of forget what I think. Forget what you think individually. Forget the rumbles that everybody's had, and this YouTuber hates this YouTuber, and this person said this about this person, and oh, they slagged off them, and they this, and blah, blah, blah. Forget all of that. That's not what this video is about. This video is a message to YouTubers such as We Are Tottenham TV, such as Expressions Oozing, such as Last Word on Spurs, my channel, Football Heritage TV, Tottenham Away, Tottenham on tour, whether we go to Chris Cowlin, right? Whether that goes out to the Irish Hotspur, whether this goes out to Sean on the Spurs Talk Show, whether this goes out to, I mean, I could go forever and ever and ever on all of the Spurs channels. What I do know, and this is an open message, please don't feel if I didn't mention you, there's just so many, I wouldn't have time to mention them all. We've got to come together. I think the overriding feeling at the moment in this football club is, by hook or crook, whether or not people have started to feel this way this season or last season or 5 years ago or 10 years ago or 15 years ago or when these owners took over 24 years ago, the overriding feeling now is that most people are kind of getting on the same page, that as a football club, we're being run as a bit of a joke. Now, again, this will depend on your perception of what being run as a joke is. And if you are somebody that doesn't care that much and you don't want success and you just want a lovely stadium and spreadsheets, fine, then this video probably isn't for you. That's fine. I'm not knocking that. Knock yourself out. Do what you've got to do. But this is a message to people on those channels. Some big people, Expressions, as I said, Ricky Sachs, Lee McQueen. If I'm looking at Dave, Irish Hotspur, I'm looking at Stell. I'm looking at people like, again, myself. I'm looking at Sean, Henry Wright. I'm looking at Ben, Sim. I'm looking at all of these channels. Brian Daigle. I'm looking at Iggy, Mari. Danny, I could do Ben Bowman, Mitch Stretton. I don't know some of these guys, by the way. I don't. I'm just saying, right? Let's get us all together. Flav from the Fighting Podcast. I'm sorry, there's so many names. Something has to be done. And we've tried this before in the past, and I got very little come back to me. So let's see who wants to come back to me. Now, before, when we've talked about, let's get some change going. Let's protest. Let's boycott games. Let's just talk about it on YouTube channels. Let's affect social media. Whichever way people think they're doing their bit, if we don't all unite and come together to make, a collective, if we don't come together to make a powerful number of people, it doesn't really mean anything, and it's a lot of talk. And I'm not saying my way is right or your way is right or his way is right, her way is right. At the end of the day, I think most of us want change. Most of us are now, I'm seeing videos from people saying the owners have to go. We've had enough. ENIC and Levy out. And as I said, I don't care whether you've been saying that for 17, 18 years like I have, or you've been saying it for 2 weeks like some of the other YouTubers have. When the penny drops, the penny drops. And I think we come together and go, cool, right, we're all old enough and ugly enough now to know, right, forget he said, she said, what can we do? Now, here's what we can do. People can protest. And I, for one, I've always said, I'm not going to protest. I don't think it's worth it. I'm even going to break my pact now and say, I will protest. And I will protest if we get the numbers and people come together and we do this as one. Right? People have started protest doing that. They've done brilliant work. They've got some numbers. How do we then drive that forward? Now, what we can't have is dividing this. It can't be, oh, well, they're only saying that now. Nah, forget them. We've been Levy out for years. Oh, no, we don't want them because they've been really hostile. And can't be all of that. Sweep it aside, under the rug. Let's come together for the common purpose of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. Whether that's change for Tottenham, whether that's Levy out, ENIC out, whether that's let's get our Spurs back, whatever that means to the individual. What can we do as a collective YouTube base? Now, some people will be watching this video and going, absolutely nothing, Sava. It is what it is. Fine. Other people will be saying, well, I want to join that, but I won't join that because he's doing it. She's doing it. They're doing it. Right? Other people will go, well, I've been doing this for ages and they've only just joined. They're the problem. Stop. Stop, stop, stop. We can do that game all day long. But together, think of the hundreds and hundreds of thousands of subscribers and viewers that we all get, that might all get on one message if we all collaborate. If we all get together and say, stod this, stod anything that's happened in the past, forget any videos, all these attack videos, all of this blame. If we get together and we can get the backing of all of those thousands of subscribers, now you've got a movement. And if a movement has one common goal and everybody's working towards that, no matter what their individual beliefs, if the main goal of that movement is the same, we can come together and be powerful. Now, am I sitting here saying this is a pipe dream? Maybe I'm sitting here saying this is a pipe dream. Am I sitting here saying this from a good place? I believe so. I'm embarrassed of my football club. I'm embarrassed of what we've become. I'm embarrassed that for how much money this football club charges people to pay, they get dished up what we've seen for the last however many years. I'm embarrassed that we slashed the wage bill by £30 million in the summer or £40 million, whatever it is in the summer, because it might look a bit more attractive to prospective owners. I'm embarrassed that as a fan base, we've gone into a youth project, so to speak, when we built this stadium and were told by our owner, we were told by Daniel Levy, the chairman of this football club. And by the way, me making this video means I'm never going to be invited to anything at Spurs, all the while Daniel Levy's there, because he'll see this by hook or crook, right? I know this won't get me invited onto Sky Sports or TalkSport, but our owner, Daniel Levy, our CEO, chairman, Daniel Levy, has turned around and said, didn't he? This stadium will be a game changer. It will allow us to compete. And since we've moved into the stadium, we're slowly getting worse and worse and worse. And the caliber of players that we're buying is getting worse and worse and worse. And getting the stadium, which was meant to allow for better players on bigger salaries, it hasn't happened. The infrastructure is wrong. I'm not going to talk about the manager. This is not about the manager, but the individual appointments of managers are wrong, whether that's this manager or managers before. The directors of football are not directors of football that are aligning with what we were told when we built this stadium. Everything is wrong. We can't seem to get the medical department right. We pay the first or second highest ticket prices in Europe. I think it's like us and Arsenal. Even buying a drink or something to eat at the ground is mega expensive. And people can come on and talk to me about inflation. And at the end of the day, we should be paying for what we get. Now, I made the decision to boycott paying about a year and a half, 2 years ago, because I was so fed up with Daniel Levy. I completely understand why others don't, because this is their club. They want to go and watch the games. They use it as a social aspect. No one is right and no one is wrong in these scenarios. But if we don't all get on the same page at some point, what can we do? So I'm going to put this open message out there. And before I do, let's think of the other things that Levy and co have done. Look at the situation with the pensioners' prices. Look at this. Look at that situation. Look at the situation with multiple partnerships, revenue streams coming into this football club. Best in class for everything. You go to the toilets at the ground, everything is beautiful. The toilets are beautiful. It's a football stadium. The toilets at the football stadium are best in class. And yet what we're seeing on the pitch is not. And it never has been. Now, do I think Spurs, do we have it worse than, I know what I'll get loads of fans going, oh, try being a fan of Grimsby or, sorry, you know, Barnsley or whoever, blah, blah, blah. But this isn't about that. This is about our football club. So here's my open message to all of you. If we want change, if we really want to get together and drive ENIC and Levy out to hopefully get them to up and sell, let's get together. You all know how to get hold of me. For those that have got my phone number, you know how to get hold of me. If not, you can reply to this video. If not, my email address I will put under the header for this video. So let's see. Chris Cowling, Lee McQueen, Ricky Sachs, X, Dave Irish Hotspur, Sean, Henry, Stell, Brian. There's so many. I'm so sorry. There are so many channels. Do we want to get together? Or do we want to go, no, I don't like him. I don't like her. I don't like them. They said this. Do we want to do that? Or do we want to turn around and go, let's unite. We are stronger together. Let's get together. Let's have a sensible conversation. Let's have a conversation about let's all protest together. Let's get a succinct message out to all of our YouTube channels at the same time to say, on this date, we are going to protest and there's going to be thousands of people, right? Can we do that? I think we can. If there's a divide, it won't happen. If we have people that look over and say, nah, not working with him, he said this, let it go. Let it go, right? We all want what's best for our football club. So I'm going to leave this message here and I'm going to say this to finish it off. My email address is below, okay? For those of you that have my phone number, most of these YouTubers should have access to my number or someone who knows my number. Let's get together. I'll say this again. I don't get invited on those big channels, so I don't know some of these people. But I'm asking Ricky Sachs. I'm asking the Lee McQueens, the X's. I'm asking Flav from the Fighting Podcast. I'm asking the Ben Bowmans, for example, who have big followings on other social media platforms. Let's unite. Forget the past. Forget this, that, the other. Let's unite. If not, we can't all sit and make videos talking about wanting change. We can't all sit and make videos about, oh, these owners are terrible. And will the owners see this? I'm sure somebody on social media will. But I can't be alone in feeling this. I'm seeing all of your videos. I'm seeing everyone saying this is enough. See, Expression said it at the weekend. These owners have to go. Ricky Sachs is now talking about these owners. We need change, right? If that is the case, then let's unite. I've put this out there. That's all I can do. Message me. Let's see how many people do. And I don't want to be the spearhead of this, by the way. I don't want to be front and center. There'll be someone better than me. I'll say this right now. There will be someone better than me from within this YouTube community to be that main person, to be the main guy or girl to take this forward. But if somebody doesn't step up and try and unite everybody and collaborate, we'll never get that off the ground. So don't worry. It won't be this ugly face being the face of it. I don't want credit for anything. I just want to start those initial conversations behind the scene. There's too much that we've been lied to about in this football club. There's too much. These owners and Daniel Levy have taken the piss out of us for far too long. Are you going to help do something about it? I'm going to leave it there. The email address is below. Please, please, please. If not, get my phone number. Let's see how many Spurs YouTubers, big or small, 20 subscribers, 200,000 subscribers. Let's see how many of those people unite. Let's see how many of those people message me. I've got a feeling, right, that many will, and I really hope they will. Guys, girls, thank you very much. I'll leave it there. And as always, Levy out, ENIC out. And as always, come on, you Spurs.